And good evening. Welcome to the Screen Team here on today's Talk 930 KWOC 93.3 FM. We've got a great show for you of movie reviews, and I'm excited to have my lovely bride with me, Miss Sabrina J. How are you this evening?
I'm good.
We've got a couple of family films we're going to be reviewing, and then later on, I got some of my comic book friends to review the new Deadpool film, so we're going to let you skip that one.
I get to see that one just for fun.
You get to see that one just for fun. But we're going to be doing Splash, The Good Dinosaur, and we're going to finish up with Deadpool this evening. So a couple of family films, but then we're going to kind of go to our rated R edge a little bit. So, yeah. I don't know who picked these films, but I like them. All right. Anyway, we've got Sabrina. We're going to start off with the movie Splash. And this is a film that was made in the mid-1980s, around 1984. Stars Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. And it's a love story. But it's a love story about a guy and a fish.
And a mermaid.
Well, she's a fish.
No, she's part fish.
Okay.
She's a magical creature who can go from being a mermaid to a walking, talking, pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
Woman.
The movie starts in the 1950s, and you see a young Tom Hanks character anyway. He falls off of a boat, and he's struggling to survive. I think he gets hit in the head or something like that, and he sees a young mermaid who comes and rescues him. And it's something that's kind of stayed with him forever, but it's not something he's, told a lot of people about. He's in and out of love throughout his entire adulthood. And when we meet him in his adulthood, we find that he just broken up with a longtime girlfriend. So he's kind of down in the dumps. I guess we see him at a wedding, and he's just not happy because everybody's asking him, well, how are you and what's her face? And he's like, fine. Everything's great. But
even though she had just left him.
Yeah, everything's not great between them. So,
all because he couldn't say I love you.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Funny
how you missed that.
It wasn't the most exciting part of the film, okay? So anyway.
He's opposite of John Candy, too.
John Candy's his brother, correct.
So they have some great chemistry, some really funny scenes in there.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes is when they're playing racquetball, and John Candy's like smoking a cigarette and like
drinking beer,
and he's like, "How long have we been playing?"
5 minutes.
So I mean, you're right. The chemistry between those two guys is really, really fantastic, and he goes out to Cape Cod to, I guess, kind of escape his normalcy.
Well, he gets drunk at the reception,
right,
and decides to find his way to the island because he says earlier on that I find peace when I'm surrounded by water, even though he can't swim.
That's right.
So he gets some yahoo to take him across the bay over to the island.
And the boat gets stuck.
Yeah.
So
Captain jumps overboard to go find another boat, and then he tinkers with it, gets it going, falls out, the propeller hits him on the head, and that's when the mermaid shows up.
The same young girl rescues him.
Pretty much.
And he kind of wakes up from his, knock in the head, and
on a beach.
He's on a beach, and he sees Daryl Hannah, and she's naked.
Yep.
It's awesome. And this is a kid's movie, mind you.
It's not a kid's movie.
It is too. Well,
it's not a kid's movie. Don't say that it's a kid's movie.
Fine.
There is nothing in this that kids are going to find interesting.
You know what? I watched this as a kid. So, what do you guys say about that?
You probably shouldn't. I'm going to tell your mother.
She's the one who put it on for me.
Yeah, I bet she regretted it. She didn't buy it, did she?
No, it was one of those things where they recorded it off the TV.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the basis of a story. They meet, they fall in love, and later on he finds out that she's a mermaid. So he's got to decide whether or not he wants to be with her or go back to his normal life. So we're going to kind of leave it at that if you haven't seen the film yet. So do you like this film, Sabrina?
Oh, sure. It's a fun film. It's a very nice period piece. I mean, it's got
what does that mean?
It's got everything 80s in it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's dated 100%.
80s commercials, 80s fashion.
And it's a movie noted for bringing about the popularity of the name Madison, and so a lot of little girls were named Madison shortly after that.
Was your goddaughter named after this movie?
They say no.
Okay.
But I say, yeah, probably. So life is interesting between these characters. Daryl Hannah does a great job and sort of broke her into the big screen. But I think she will forever be known as the mermaid.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's not one of those, it's just, great written piece and it's just a
fun,
comedy.
though. It's
just
fun.
it's a romantic comedy at its best in the 80s. And it's just like all the other romantic comedies, except she happens to be a mermaid. So
You know what I think is best about this film? More than the writing or the acting or whatever, I think the chemistry is really good between all the actors. And I think that's what makes this movie really, really special.
it makes it really easy to watch.
Yeah. All right, the movie is called Splash. Coming up after the break, we're going to review a kids movie.
Yay!
Apparently, this one wasn't a kids movie, but the next one will be a kids movie. It's called The Good Dinosaur. We'll review that next on Today's Talk, KWOC.